In this video, we are going to study the first queuing model, that is model first. The name of this model is Single Channel Poisson Arrivals and Exponential Service Infinite Population Model. The representation of this model is MM1 is to FCFS infinity infinity. So let us consider a single channel system with Poisson arrival and exponential service time distribution. Both the arrivals and service rates are independent of the number of customers in the waiting time. Arrivals are handled on first come first serve basis. Now here in this model, the mean arrival rate lambda is less than the mean service rate. So in order to have the service or the system efficient, there must be this condition: mean arrival rate lambda must be less than the mean service rate. If this will be not in the system, or this condition will not be in the system, what will happen at the end of day? At the end of day, the customers will remain in the queue without availing or without getting the service. So in order to have the system efficient, the lambda must be less than mu. Now let n be the number of customers in the system. The number of customers in the system, that means customers who are in the waiting line plus the customers who are taking the service facility at time t. Lambda is the mean arrival rate, that is number of arrivals per unit time. Mu is the mean service rate, that is number of customers served per unit time. Lambda dt is the probability that an arrival enters in the system between t and t plus dt time interval. 1 minus lambda dt is the probability of no arrival during the time interval dt. Mu dt is the probability of one service completion between t and t plus dt time interval. 1 minus mu dt is the probability of no service during the time interval dt. LQ is the expected or average number of customers in the queue. LS is the expected number of customers in the system. WQ is the expected waiting time in the queue. WS is the expected waiting time in the system. Now, to determine the properties of single channel system, it is necessary to find the expression for probability of n customers in the system at a time t. So that is Pn of t. If Pn of t is known, the expected number of customers in the system and other characteristics such as expected number of customers in the queue, expected waiting time in the queue and expected waiting time in the system can be calculated. Instead of calculating expression for Pn of t, we shall find first Pn of t plus dt. So here we are interested to determine the probability of n customer at time t. So in order to determine that probability, we will find first the probability of n customer at a time interval t plus dt. So once it is determined, that can be converted into, or that the expression of Pn of t, it can be done. The probability of n customers in the system at a time t plus dt can be determined by addition of probabilities of all the ways this event could occur. The event could be occur in 4 ways. So these are the 4 events which could be occurred in the system in the small time period dt. First event is initially at time t. there are n customers in the system and there will be no arrival and no service taken place during the small time period dt. So at the end of this time period dt, at time t plus dt, there are n customers in the system. The second event is initially n plus 1 customers are in the system and there is no service, there is no arrival and one service taken place. So at the end n customers will be in the system. The third event could be n minus 1 customers are in the system and there is one arrival and no service taken place. So at the end n customers will be in the system. The fourth event could be there are n customers in the system and one service and one arrival it is taken place. Here note that this dt is a very small time period during which only one event could be possible. So here also if we see the fourth event or the fourth row, there are two events taken place. So that means the arrival of the customer as well as the service of the customer, it is taken place. In practical it is not possible. So how it is not possible, that we will see later. So that means automatically probability of this event, it will be equal to 0. Now here other than these events, so that means the number of customers arrived in the small time period dt, say 2 and 2 services have been done. So such possibility of the event, it is impossible because as this time period is very small, it is impossible that 2 customers are arrived and 2 customers have serviced. So like that 3 customer, 4 customers, it is almost impossible. So that's why that events have not considered here. Now let us calculate the probability of event 1. So probability of event 1 is equal to probability of having n units in time t multiply by probability of no arrivals multiply by probability of no services. So that is equal to Pn of t, that means probability of having n units in the time t. So that means Pn of t multiply by probability of no arrivals means 1 minus lambda dt multiply by probability of no services means 1 minus mu dt. Now let us simplify this. Here we will get Pn of t multiply by, here this multiplication we have done. So after multiplication we get 1 minus lambda dt minus mu dt plus lambda into mu dt square. Now here the time period dt is very small and as it is very small, dt or its a square, again it will be very small and it can be considered as a 0. So since dt is a small time interval, hence dt raised to 2 can be treated as a 0. So neglecting this term, we get probability of event 1 is equal to Pn of t multiply by 1 minus lambda dt minus mu dt. Now let us see the probability of event 2. So probability of event 2 is equal to probability of having n plus 1 units or the customers at time t multiply by probability of no arrivals multiply by probability of one service. So that means the probability of event 2 is equal to Pn plus 1 of t multiply by probability of no arrivals means 1 minus lambda dt multiply by probability of one service means mu dt. So now after multiplying this, we get Pn plus 1 of t into bracket mu dt minus lambda into mu dt square. So again this term, it will be treated as a 0. So after neglecting this term, we get probability of event 2 is equal to Pn plus 1 of t into mu dt. Now, probability of event 3 is equal to probability of having n minus 1 units or customers at time t multiply by probability of 1 arrivals multiply by probability of no service. So that means Pn minus 1 of t multiply by probability of 1 arrival, that means lambda dt, multiply by probability of no service means 1 minus mu dt. So after simplifying, we will get Pn minus 1 of t multiply by lambda dt minus Pn minus 1 t of t multiply by lambda into mu dt square. So again this term will be treated as a 0. So here we will get the probability of event 3 is equal to Pn minus 1 of t into lambda dt. Now probability of event 4 is equal to probability of having n units at time t multiply by probability of 1 arrival multiply by probability of 1 service. So that means Pn of t multiply by probability of 1 arrival, that means Pn of lambda dt multiply by probability of 1 service means mu dt. So that means this will be equal to Pn of t multiply by lambda into mu dt square. So as this one is the second order term, this can be considered as a 0. So that means the probability of event 4 is equal to 0. So in this way, as I told earlier, in the small time period dt, the 2 event occurrence is not possible. So here in the row 4, the 2 events have been occurred. So that means arrival as well as service, and it is not possible. So from this derivation, it is proved that the probability of event 4 is equal to 0. So note that other events are not possible because of small value of dt, that causes dt raised to 2 tends to 0. Since one and only one of the above events can happen, we can obtain the Pn of t plus dt by adding the probabilities of above 4 events. So whatever the probabilities of these 4 events have been calculated earlier, we will add all these probabilities of that 4 events in order to obtain the probability of n customers in the system at a time t plus dt. So addition of all these 4 events, we get Pn of t plus dt is equal to Pn of t into bracket 1 minus lambda dt minus mu dt plus this probability of second event Pn plus 1 of t multiply by mu dt plus probability of third event Pn minus 1 into t multiply by lambda dt plus 0 probability of fourth event. So after simplification, here we get Pn of t minus Pn of t multiply by lambda plus mu into dt. So this multiplication have been done here plus Pn plus 1 of t multiply by mu dt as it is we have written here plus Pn minus 1 into t into lambda dt. Pn minus 1 of t into lambda dt. So this is also as it is we have written. This one is 0, so this is not covered here. Now here this Pn of t we have taken at the left side. So that means Pn of t plus dt minus Pn of t. this term it is formed, and dt is common in all these terms. So this we have taken at the left side, so that means divided by dt it is taken place. So at the right side it is minus Pn of t into lambda plus mu plus mu into Pn plus 1 of t plus lambda into Pn minus 1 of t. Now earlier we have seen that the wetting line theory analysis, all it is done at the steady state only. It is not done at the initial stage of the system when the system is in transient state. So when the system is in steady state, the probability of occurrence of n customers at any time is stable or it is steady. So since in the system, in the steady state, the probability of occurring n units at time t as well as time t plus dt will remain same. Therefore, the left hand side of the above equation can be treated as a 0. So at any time the probability of occurrence of n customers is remaining constant in the steady state, this will be equal to 0. So that means after treating this left hand side term 0, we get 0 equal to minus Pn of lambda minus mu plus mu into Pn plus 1 plus lambda into Pn minus 1. So after simplifying, we get here mu into Pn plus 1 plus lambda into Pn minus 1 is equal to Pn into lambda plus mu. Now let us consider this as equation 1. Now in the previously we have calculated the probability of n customers at a time t plus dt. So in general we have calculated that. Now here specifically we will consider that the 0 customers are in the system. So that means here we will calculate the probability of 0 customers in the system at time t plus dt. So this table, it is showing the events, the various events by which the probability of 0 customers at time t plus dt can be 0. So in the row 1, it is given that at time t there are 0 customers in the system and there will be no arrival as well as no service taken place in the time dt. So that means at the end there will be 0 customers in the time period t plus dt. The second event could be at time t there is 1 customer in the system, no arrival taken place and 1 service taken place. So at the end at time t plus dt there will be 0 customers. So now the probability that 0 customers in the system at time t plus dt, it can be calculated by the same way. So probability of event 1 is equal to probability of having 1 units at time t multiply by probability of no arrivals multiply by probability of no service. So probability of event 1 is equal to P naught of t multiply by 1 minus lambda dt, that means probability of no arrival multiply by probability of no service. Now here probability of no service, it is simply considered as a 1. So why it is considered as a 1? As no units were arrived in the system, the probability of no service would be equal to 1. probability of event 2 is equal to probability of having 1 units at time t multiplied by probability of no arrivals multiplied by probability of 1 service. So it is equal to P1 of t, probability of having 1 units at time t, that is P1 of t, multiplied by probability of no arrival, that means 1 minus lambda t lambda dt, multiplied by probability of 1 service, that means mu into dt. So that is equal to P1 of t into mu dt multiplied by P1 of t into lambda into mu dt raised to 2 or dt square. As this one is the small time period, it can be treated as a 0. So probability of event 2 is equal to P1 of t into mu dt. Now probability of having no customer in the system at time t plus dt is calculated by adding the above two events. So these two events we will add here. So P naught of t plus dt is equal to first event, probability of first event plus probability of second event. So it is equal to P naught of t minus P naught of t into lambda dt plus P1 of t into mu dt. So again here we will take this term at the left side and dt we will take it common and we will transfer it at the left side. So the left hand side it will become P naught of t plus dt minus P naught t divided by dt is equal to minus lambda P naught t plus mu P1 of t. So as we have discussed earlier, in the steady state the difference in these probabilities at time t plus dt and t, it will be equal to 0. So that can be considered as a 0. So therefore the equation will come 0 equal to minus lambda p naught plus mu p1, which is equal to mu p1 is equal to lambda p naught. So after rearranging this we will get P1 is equal to lambda upon mu into P naught. Now let us consider this as a equation 2. Now we will put n equal to 1 in the equation 1. So this is equation 1 which we have obtained earlier. Here we will put n equal to 1. So we will get here mu P2 plus lambda P naught is equal to P1 into lambda plus mu. After the multiplication of P1 into these two terms, we will get mu P2 plus lambda P naught is equal to lambda P1 plus mu P1. Now from equation 2, we will put the value of P1 here. We will get mu P2 plus lambda P naught is equal to lambda P1 plus mu into lambda upon mu is into P naught. So here this mu it will get cancelled and it will remain lambda into P naught. So this lambda into P naught and this lambda into P naught it will get cancelled and the remaining will be mu P2 is equal to lambda P1. After rearranging we will get P2 is equal to lambda upon mu into P1. Now instead of P1 we will put the value of this P1 obtained from the equation 2. So we will get lambda upon mu bracket square into P naught. So in general we can write, so in this way we can obtain P3 is equal to lambda upon mu bracket cube into P naught and like this. So in general we can write Pn equal to lambda upon mu bracket raised to n into P naught. So this is the expression for probability of occurrence of n customer in the system. But in this expression, unless the value of P naught is determined, it is not possible to calculate other characteristics or parameters. So here we will calculate the value of P naught later, or in the next part, in the next slide. So determination of value of P naught. We know that the sum of steady state probabilities are equal to 1. So that means P naught plus P1 plus P2 plus up to infinity, it is equal to 1. We know that Pn is equal to lambda upon mu bracket raised to n into P naught. This is already we have obtained. So from this we can write here P naught plus lambda upon mu into P naught plus lambda upon mu bracket square into P naught and so on is equal to 1. So now this one is the geometric series. We know that whenever there will be geometric series, it is written as, so it is, or it can be written in the form of P naught into 1 upon 1 minus this lambda upon mu is equal to 1. So that means P naught is equal to 1 minus lambda upon mu. That means P1 is equal to lambda upon mu into P naught. So after putting the value of P naught here, we will get P1 equal to lambda upon mu into 1 minus lambda upon mu. P2 equal to lambda upon mu bracket square into 1 minus lambda upon mu. So in general, we can write Pn is equal to lambda upon mu bracket raised to n into 1 minus lambda upon mu, or it can also be written like this: Pn is equal to lambda upon mu bracket raised to n into mu minus lambda upon mu. So this is the expression for probability of n customers in the system at any time t. Now let us calculate expected number of customers in the system. So let us consider LS is the expected number of customers in the system, which can be calculated as the summation of n, which is equal to, or which is varying from 0 to infinity, n into Pn. So let us put the value of Pn. After putting the value of Pn, we will get lambda upon mu bracket raised to n into P naught. Now here we will take P naught into lambda upon mu outside this summation. So inside it will remain n into lambda upon mu bracket raised to n minus 1. Now let rho is equal to lambda upon mu, which will get LS equal to P naught into rho summation of n into rho raised to n minus 1. Now we will take the derivatives with respect to rho. So P naught into rho inside this summation d of d rho into bracket rho raised to n, which will be equal to, or here we will alternate these. So after alternating, we will get P naught into rho into d of d rho into summation of rho raised to n. So after expanding this summation, we will get P naught into rho d of d rho into bracket 1 plus rho square. So like this, the geometric series here it is formed. So as this one is the geometric series formed, it can be written in the form of 1 upon 1 minus rho. After taking the differentiation of this, we will get LS equal to P naught into rho upon rho into 1 upon 1 minus rho bracket square. After simplifying or after putting the value of P naught, we will get LS equal to 1 minus rho. Rho, it is nothing but the lambda upon mu. Here we have calculated the value of P naught already. Here we can see the value of P naught. So this value we will put here. So after putting this, we will get this value. Here 1 minus rho bracket square and 1 minus rho. So one parameter will be cancelled. So after cancelling, we will get LS equal to rho upon 1 minus rho. Now putting the values of rho, that is lambda upon mu, we will get the expected number of customers in the system, LS equal to lambda upon mu minus lambda. Now let us calculate the expected number of customers in the queue. Let LQ is the expected number of customers in the queue, already that we have defined. So LQ is equal to expected number of units in the system minus expected number of service. So that means LS minus expected number of service means the ratio lambda upon mu. So LS minus lambda upon mu, which is equal to lambda upon mu into lambda upon mu minus lambda. So after simplification, after putting the value of LS and after simplifying, we will get this equation. So expected number of customers in the queue is equal to this one. Now let us calculate expected time in the system. So WS is the expected time in the system, which is equal to expected number of units in the system or expected number of customers in the system divided by arrival rate. So LS is the expected number of units in the system divided by arrival rate lambda. After putting the value of LS and after simplifying, we will get WS is equal to 1 upon mu minus lambda. After that, expected time in the system, so expected time in the system, WQ is the expected time in the system minus time in the service. So expected time in the system, it is WS minus time in the service, it is equal to 1 upon mu. So after putting the value of WS and simplifying this equation, we will get expected time in the queue is equal to, or expected waiting time in the queue is equal to lambda upon mu into 1 upon mu minus lambda. So friends, in this way we have calculated the probability of n customers in the system, which is equal to Pn equal to lambda upon mu bracket raised to n into bracket mu minus lambda upon mu. Expected number of customers in the system, LS is equal to lambda upon mu minus lambda. Expected number of customers in the queue, LQ is equal to lambda upon mu into lambda upon mu minus lambda, and expected time in the system is equal to 1 upon mu minus lambda. So in this way we have analyzed the first model of queuing theory thoroughly. There we have determined the probability of n customers in the system at any time t and the other characteristics which are customer interest point of view. Thank you.